Greetings, party people. My name is Belle. I'm here to bring you a really cool multi-card, multi-stack tarot and oracle card reading. What we've got here is the 3 different stacks. You pick one and then you get kind of an individualized reading. The first stack is represented by this purplish stone heart. The second stack of cards is represented by this beautiful yellow citrine. And the third stack of cards is represented by this kind of really light, clear quartz. Okay, we're using 3 different decks of cards today, a combination of tarot and oracle. We're going to be using the Raven's Prophecy Tarot, the Everyday Witch Oracle, and the Mother Mary Oracle. It's going to be really cool. Let's just jump into it right now. See what kind of energy we can draw in with this really cool card reading. Obviously, we're starting with the purplish stone heart. So if you picked group 1, this will be for you. Okay. We've got 2 tarot cards here. First tarot card. Ooh, Major Arcana number 14, Temperance. And it has an image of a water droplet, the actual water droplet hitting the pond. Let's see. Temperance. I mean, the most obvious thing that comes to mind to start with is the sense of people saying like a drop in the ocean. There's also that saying in spirituality that you are the drop in the ocean and you're also the ocean in a single drop. So I feel like it's this sense of interconnectedness, but having a balance of what that interconnectedness means to you. Let's look at the second tarot card. Still for group 1. No kidding, you got 2 Major Arcana cards. This is a big time for you. The second card is the Magician card. It's saying like everything is in your own hands. So with the combination of the Temperance card and the Magician card, I feel like it's saying like be balanced in your sense of your own personal power. Yes, you have completely got your own personal power, and that's amazing. And you do need to utilize that to your best ability. But remember that balance of interconnectedness, and think about how you want to treat other people and yourself, and how you want to have your boundaries, like that whole balance of being interrelated and how you relate to others. We'll come into this too, because as soon as you tap into your own personal power, you have to make some decisions about how you're going to treat yourself and others, like maybe even more consciously than you have before. That's pretty interesting. Now let's move on to the Everyday Witch Oracle card. I'm sorry if the little dings on my computer are driving you crazy. I'm just going to try to ignore them. Okay, so group 1 still, Everyday Witch Oracle. The card is Prayers and Wishes, and it shows a wishing well with all these animals around her. So I feel like with the Magician card and getting the Wishing Well card, I feel like there's something happening where you've been setting your sights on something for a really long time. You've been having this clear intention, but maybe you're just now realizing how much conscious choice you have and how much you can consciously act and really put everything into motion for yourself. So, I don't know, I think for this card, even though it says prayers and wishes, I don't think it's going to be in your best interest to have a lot of prayers and wishes. Once you have the prayers and wishes, you're going to want to take action in the way that's best for you. So, and again, that comes in with the balance. So that's pretty cool. Now, let's look at the Mother Mary Oracle card. This one says, Our Lady of the Inner Gate. Wow, this is such a good meditation card. The inner gate, I would think of that as like your soul, your gateway through meditation to inner realms. Like, that's incredible. So I feel like you're really doing something important these days. You're tuning in to your sense of yourself. You're getting that empowerment. And then, I don't know, it's just divine grace that's coming through for you. And it's not just passive, it's an active divine grace. Like you are connecting with different aspects of life, and you are figuring out, as the magician, how to make the forces of nature work for you rather than going against them. So I think this is a really powerful meditation card. So it's saying, like, bring in that divine meditation energy to this mix of all the really empowered things you're doing. Okay, that's awesome. That was group 1. Now let's move on to group 2, which is represented by citrine. If you picked group 2, this is the reading for you. The first tarot card is Nine of Cups. I like this card because it has such a pretty scene, such a pretty view of these clouds, this beautiful sky. Nine of Cups. So I feel like you've done a lot to heal your emotional life, and you're on the cusp of really healing so much. So I feel like your healing journey is at that point where you can see how far you've come and just kind of putting the finishing touches on it. The next tarot card is King of Coins. Ooh, it's kind of like the thorns are really sticking out on this one. King of Coins. I was like, what sacrifices have you made to get the abundance that you have? So I feel like maybe when you made sacrifices to get the abundance that you have, you might have sacrificed some of your emotional well-being. So that's not that great. So this is kind of a cautionary thing, like, learn how to put your emotional life first as much as you can, and don't look for the quick fix for your abundance and financial well-being. Now, for the Everyday Witch Everyday Witch Oracle. Wow, it says rebirth and reinvention. Whoa. Very, like, from the nudity, I feel like that represents like purity of intention and vulnerability. And there's all these little sea turtles there too, like a return to something, but in a new way. That's beautiful. Rebirth and reinvention. That's interesting. Like a sense of renewal. Let me think. I feel like for some reason I'm getting a little nudge that this kind of represents something from the past. And then once you get over this thorny aspect of something that you've been dealing with, there's going to be a sense of renewal for you. And like more of a feminine energy. Like maybe you've had to deal with the workplace in some way, and there was this like kind of ick masculine energy. Not that all masculine energy is ick, but that was how it was manifesting for your workplace situation. And now you're in a new stage of your life, and you're able to feel that sense of renewal, and you're just totally nourished and rejuvenated by that. And it's a new stage of your life, a new era of your life, and just make the most of it. It's kind of interesting that you have this beautiful sky in both of these. Kind of like just like that that reassurance, or that really nice, almost like this soothing idea, which is in like opposition to the thorns on this. So it's like take the path of emotional soothing rather than the thorny path that you've had to navigate before. And the Mother Mary Oracle card is Our Lady of the Rose Crown. This is so interesting because there's a rose in this one, and this is Our Lady of the Rose Crown. You know what this reminds me of? Is a crown of thorns, like when Jesus was crucified. And then this is more positive because it's a rose crown Although it makes me think of it because roses do have thorns, and that already came up, the thorny part. So I think it's like turning something, like the alchemy of taking in some negative situations and coming through it and turning it into something positive that you can have proudly in your sense of yourself and your sense of your life. So this is really incredible. It's like you've gone through this thorny path and you emerged with so much dignity and pride and elegance. And this is important for you to acknowledge because it is this time of rebirth and renewal and rejuvenation and reinvention too, even more consciously, I guess. That's incredible. That's really cool. Ooh, these cards are so distinct. I really like how the first two groups have gone. Okay, so now let's go to group 3, which is represented by this light clear quartz. The first two are the tarot cards. I apologize for a little bit of street noise outside. Hopefully you can't hear it too much. The first tarot card for group 3 is 7 of Cups. This means you have a lot of choices in front of you, and most of the choices are positive. There might be a couple choices that wouldn't be as good, but a lot of the choices are completely positive. The second tarot card, is 2 of Swords. Okay, so what's happening is you have a lot of choices, but you don't feel like you have a lot of choices. You feel like you're in this dead end of some kind. But it's not true. You have so many choices in front of you. So you've got to do something to break everything up. Like get into a new mind frame. Like do something a little different from your normal routine. Just break up that stale energy and see your choices again. The Everyday Witch Oracle card is Meditation for Creativity. Ooh, so this is saying a way that you could break up that stale energy. See, he has that powerful creativity, like the fire coming out of his wand or his paintbrush. So this is the way to break up that stale energy. You feel trapped in some way. You're not trapped, but it's hard to get over that feeling. But if you take out some of your energy, like just draw or paint or do anything you can to represent how trapped you feel and what you feel like those hurdles are in your way, and then it's going to really help you transform that. And as soon as you transform it, you're like, oh, there's like at least 7 choices, right? There's so many choices in front of you, and it's in your hands. You feel like your hands are tied, so that's why the creativity comes in of expression. But as soon as you can somehow get through those hurdles with the creativity, you're going to see really cool choices in front of you. And the Mother Mary card is Our Lady of the Star Blossom. She has this connection to nature there. It looks like a dogwood tree. I guess the star blossom is what it is, but I'm not sure what a star blossom is exactly. But she looks like very serene. This connection to nature. She looks like, I don't know, this is interesting. She looks like she's accepting something, like she's coming to terms with something and it finally feels better. So it may be that something's really been bugging you, and this lack of acceptance or something that you couldn't shake, is making you feel really tied down. And through the creativity and expression, you're going to get to this place, not of surrender, but of acceptance in some way that works for you. And that's going to help you connect to life again. I see this like pale blue color in this card. And that's like getting back to the sense of innocence and sincerity. It's peaceful too. You know, this is a peaceful card. So the rest of the cards you got are very much like active cards, like the choices and the feeling a certain way strongly and the creativity. But if like all of that kind of like comes to some kind of apex, or it gets sorted out in the way that's best for you through those steps you take, and then you get to a much more peaceful state. It's not passive or like it's not stepping back from your life, but it's being at peace with what's happening in your life because you've made those changes through the creativity, and those changes that are important to you and that you know are the right ones for you. This is so cool. Thank you so much for tuning into these cards. I hope if you listened to the whole video, you got some different messages, and I hope that if you picked the individual card groups, that those readings resonated with you. It's interesting how distinct the readings came out. Definitely like separate groups of messages for the most part. Yeah, that's really cool. I really like that. This was a little bit more concise. I hope this worked well for you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.